Hello everyone, my name is Varun and today in this video we are going to discuss about Context API in React. I hope that you have watched my previous video where I have given you the conceptual information about what is probe drilling and how Context API can help us to rescue on this case. Okay, so before diving into the code base, let me first show you a basic application that I have created without using Context API, and here I will also show you how this probe drilling is created and how it is becoming a problem for me. So this is my main application. You can see that I have created multiple components. So there is a main component called app component. Inside this app component, there is a children component. There is a child called component 1. Inside the child 1, there is component 2. And then inside the component 2, there is component 3. So you can see that there is n level of hierarchy, right? Now, what prop drilling is that if I want to pass data from my parent to the inner child, I have to actually pass that data from all the component tree, right? So all these other components are called intermediary components, and we have nothing to do with that with these components, but still we need to pass the data via these components. So now let me show you the code base. You can see that I have a app component. As I mentioned that this is a app component. Inside the app component, if I open this component, you can see that I have written I am a app component, and inside this I have included a component one, right? So let me zoom it. All right. So it is component one. In component one, if you see, there is component two, right? So let's open component 2, and in component 2 you can see that there is component 3. Let me open component 3 as well. All right. So now you can see that how this actual hierarchy is being built. Now let me also show you how I am actually passing the data from my parent to the inner child. So you can see that from my app component I am passing two properties, that is comp2, that is child 2, and then comp3, that is child 3. So from my app component here, I am passing my information to my component 2. You can see that I can have child 2, right? You can see child 2 is passed and it is being shown in this component 2. Similarly, I am passing child 3 via comp3 property and it is in my last child, that is component 3. So if you look at the code base, what I have done is I have actually passed these properties from my app to component 1, and from component 1 I am passing this information. I am using destructuring pattern, and here I am passing the same props, that is comp 2 and comp 3, to my component 2. So I know that component 2 will be utilized here, right? So now let me open component 2. In component 2 you can see that I'm again passing those props as comp 3 and comp 2, and here in my component true I am already using my property value, right? Similarly, you can see that I am further passing my comp3 property to my component 3, right? You can see that. And if I open component 3 here, you can see that again I'm using destructuring pattern. I am passing the prop and I am accessing the value of that prop inside my component. So you can see that in order to pass this information, that is in order to pass values to component 2 and component 3, I have different intermediaries here, right? So component 1, I am passing it from component 1, and then from my app I am passing the information to component 1. Then from component 1 I am passing the information to component 2, and in component 2 I am using the value, and I am also again further passing the value to my component 3. So this whole thing is called as probe drilling. You can see that, let's say in future, let's say it is a real world application and we are having similar kind of hierarchy, and client asked me that I don't need this particular functionality. And what I will do is I will try to make manipulations. I will try to remove few of the properties, and this can be prone to errors, right? Similarly, if there is a change in my component 2, what will happen is, or component 3, what will happen is it will re-render component 1, component 2, and component 3. But in reality, only component 3 should re-render. But due to this probe drilling, all the intermediate components are also being re-rendered. So that is the biggest problem that we have. So guys, now I'm going to show you that how we can actually harness the power of context API to do our work. Okay, so you can see that I have used this app component inside my index application, right? In my index.js. So you can see that I have already imported create context. So in order to create context, there is a function called create context, and here I have already exported const context is equal to create context. We can also provide the default value of null or whatever value we want, and I will come back to this value, that what is the default value and what is its purpose. But for now, just assume that we are providing a default value of null. Now what we have to do is, context provides two things. One is the provider, which is actually going to provide all the values which I want my inner components to access. So what I am going to do is I'm going to write context dot provider, right? And then let's wrap it inside my app component. So now this is not a rule that we should wrap my provider inside the whole, inside the root application. I can even have my provider inside the, let's say, component 1 or component 2. But as this application is very small and I'm just giving you a demo, it is fine if I can show you this information inside this. I can wrap this provider inside this app component. Alright guys. Now in provider, it provides a property called value, and this is the actual value which I want to access inside any of my inner component. So earlier what I was doing is I was providing comp2 and comp3, right? You can see that comp2 and comp3. So I will directly pass comp2 and comp3 over there. Comp2 is equal to child2, right? And then comp3 is equal to child3. All right, guys. So now in my provider is having access to two properties, that is comp2 and comp3, and it is actually wrapped with this within the app component. Now, instead of using the values or passing the values like this, what I will directly do is I know that I'm going to access this component in child 2, right? In component 2. So here is the main component, and here I am actually accessing the value. So what I have to do is I will be actually using the context API called consumer. For that, I will import context from index. Okay, guys. So I am actually importing this context, this value, right? And wherever I need to access the value, I have imported it inside that component. And now context provides two ways. First, I will show you the old way of accessing the context value. So let me first share the old way. It provides context.consumer. So context.consumer provides a function call with the value, and here I can return my value. So what I can do now is I can directly cut the values and paste it over my return. Alright guys, now instead of using comp2, let me actually rename it to value.comp2. Okay, so you can see that if I remove this, now it is not there. And if I use value.com 2, you can see that child 2 is there, right? So that is the value of using context API. I don't need to pass my value from app component, from component 1, and then component 1 to component 2, and in component 2 I have to use the value. No, we are actually removing this intermediary, and we have harnessed the power of context API, right? So let, if you want to see what's the difference, so let me update the value 2123, right? And let me refresh the page. So you can see that this value is updated, right? So similarly, we can also use comp3. So for this, what we will do is we will go, we will do the same thing. Here I am saying that I want to access the value from my context, so I will import the context, and again I will use the similar syntax, right? And let me close context.consumer. Okay, and then let me cut it and then paste it. All right, guys, and from here I will use value.com3, and let me also update this value. So guys, we have successfully used our context API to show the different values, and we are not actually using the intermediate components to pass my property. All right. Now let me also show you that you might be thinking that this syntax is not that user friendly, right? So React has provided a hook pattern for this. That hook is called use context hook. So what we can do is import use context from React. All right. So here what I will do is const comp2 is equal to use context. So here it is giving the error and it is saying that comp2 is already declared. So I am going to remove this comp2 and let me refresh it. Okay guys, so here in order to use this hook, you can see that I have used use context, and inside the use context I have passed my context. I am passing my provider. And here I am using the destructuring pattern which will be returning me the property that I actually want to access. So here I have mentioned that I want to access comp2. Now we can get rid of this weird pattern of context.consumer. So let me remove it, and let me also remove it from here. And it is giving the error because we are accessing it via a value. Now let me remove this value and rename it with comp2. So guys, you can see that now we have simplified our code base with a very simple use context hook, and we are directly accessing our value. Similarly, we can do it with comp3 also. So let me import this component. All right, and then I will call it like this, and I don't need comp3 over here for now, and let me rename it to comp3. Let me also remove these consumers, and let me remove the value now. All right guys, so now you can see that I have changed the same, I have done the same thing but with using the use context hook. All right guys, so I hope that you have understood the concept of context API, how to use context hook. If I give you a quick recap, you can see that what I have done is I have used a create context method and passing the null as the default value, and it provides me two things. One is the context.provider, the main provider for my application, the main values that I want these inner components to access at any point of time, right? So I am passing comp2 and comp3. Once the provider is done, we can use context.consumer if I want to follow the old pattern, right? And then I can directly use import context from index. I am importing it, which is actually exported from here, right? And in this code, what I'm doing is I'm using use context hook, and I'm passing the context reference for the provider, right? For my context. And then using the destructuring pattern, I am accessing the property that I actually want, and then I am showing the value over there. Similarly, I am using the same things, but here I am accessing the comp3. Even let's clean up something. Now we don't need these properties, right? So let me remove these properties. Let me also remove these properties from here, and let me also remove passing of properties from here as well. Let me remove this from here, and then let me remove this from here. So guys, you can see that I have removed everything related to probe drilling and my application is still working, right? So now let me share one interesting fact with you. The recommended approach is that we should use our provider only where only very close to the consumers. Because if I am going to use a provider at the top, and let's say there are other components, let's say there is component 5, right? And then there is component 6, let's say there is component 6. And let's say I'm not even using these components, I'm not using consumer, but still if there is a change in these properties by any event, these two components are again going to be re-rendered, right? Similarly, with app component, it is going to re-render component 1, and as you can see that it will even re-render the component 1 even if there is no consumer, because we have wrapped it inside it. Okay, now let me come to the story of the default value for create context. Why it can be helpful, or how it can be helpful. Let's say I have forgot to pass this context.provider. Let's say it is like this. Okay, and in my component 2, I am accessing this comp2 value. Okay, so it is saying that comp2 is null, right? As it is null. So because comp2 is not available, so it is going to tell me I can have a extra check that it is actually saying that this value is not available, so kindly add your provider. That is the whole point of having this default value for the create context. Alright guys, I hope that you have understood the basic idea behind context API, how to use context hook, and what are its pros and cons, what is the concept of re-rendering, and how we can remove those intermediate components. Apart from that, right now I have only used a single value, right? We can even pass methods from here, or we can even create a separate component as a provider where I will be having my own business logic. So in the next video, I'm going to do the same thing so that you can actually see that how it can be used in a real application. Alright guys, that's all from my side. Thank you. Bye bye.